All right, guys, gonna give you a quick tour of my 2025 Nucanoe Unlimited. This is a new boat that I'm still in the process of rigging out. It's probably 3/4 of the way done. Got a few things to tweak up on it, but I got this one set up for catfishing, so I'm just gonna kind of run through it and show you how I have mine set up. Start up here at the front. You got my Motor Guide XI3 trolling motor. Now this thing does come with a bracket from, I believe, Nucanoe. It's got 3 screw holes in the boat right there, and that bracket goes on there, and you can mount your quick connect thing to the top of that, which I don't have on right now. I may get that later, but right now I just have my little base mounted in the 3 holes. You can see how solid it is, doesn't move at all. And then in the front, you can see it's very spacious in the front. Got a ton of room up here between the chair and the bow up there. Now this is made to hold a gear pod up here, and I do have that gear pod. I actually have it right here, and I don't have that in right now because I have this thing set up for catfishing, and when I'm measuring my catfish in a tournament, I want my board to run as far as I can long right here, because that's how we do these kayak catfish tournaments, is measure the length of them. So right now I have that open, and you can see my rod holders in the front. I have 2 rod holders right here. These are the Smackdown rod holders, and a lot of people ask me how I mount my rod holders. Well, I've tried this in a single track. This boat has several tracks. It's got a track here, it's got a track here that runs all the way back, it's got another track up here, another track up here. And I tried it up on these top tracks right here, and there just wasn't enough stability there. Not enough for my confidence. If I hook into a big fish, I want something I know that's gonna hold up, not get broke. So what I did was I got one of these mounts here from Smackdown rod holders, and I went from track to track right there. And you can see how sturdy this is. It's not gonna budge at all. That thing is tight, and I believe it'll hold up against any fish. But when I have these on here, it gets in the way of my gear pod, so I can't have these and my gear pod on at the same time. Looking down in the floor, got another track right there if you want to run your graph mount right there. But just really open space right here. These Unlimiteds, that's why they're called Unlimiteds, because there's so many possibilities you can do with these things. Up here on this top track, you can see I have my Humminbird unit. Got it mounted right there. I figured that'd be kind of out of the way right there. And below it, I have my Yak Attack. I forget what that little deal's called. It's a new product they come out with. They're stackable. These 2 are together, like in the top one. I have my dragging weights. In the bottom one, I just have some sinkers down there. Just kind of where I can keep stuff right there within reach and not have to cluster up the boat with a bunch of tackle and stuff. And moving on back to the seat, this is the 360 Fusion seat. You see it swivels all the way around there. And the way I have this boat set up, I have a rod rack in the back. So when I'm dragging weights or anchored out, I can just turn my seat right there, be facing toward my rods, come back up here if I want to do my measurements. Just a ton of room in this boat right here. And these things are on the track system to go all the way up in the back of the boat, so you can actually mount 2 seats on a boat if you want. This boat's rated for 650 pounds. I think the dry weight is 84 pounds with nothing in it. Got a couple handles on the side here. Right here I have my transducer mount. All I do when I get ready to use that, so I unloosen it right there, just flop it off in the water. That's kind of out of the way for me. I like mine right there. You see it's got a ton of drainage systems in the back and all the way in the front right there. It has these places right here. You can take this off if you want to run stuff in there, put switches, mount your switches on there, or run any kind of other lines in there. Right now I just have mine run on the side because I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to run mine through the hole yet. So that's what I got there. And on the back, let's get to the rod rack here. This is what I get most of my questions on. This is the way I did mine. This is what worked for me on my last kayak, so I went with kind of the same setup this time. You can see I got another one of those Smackdown bases right there. I got it in that track, and I got one on the opposite track over there. Got 1 inch I don't know if it's steel or galvanized steel, what it is, whatever it is there, but it runs all the way across, and that's what gives you your stability. You can see how solid that thing is. This thing will hold up to big fish, so I'm not worried about that at all. So that's my mounts right there. Got a couple rod holders there in the back. Got my battery box back here in the back. You see it has another handle back here in the back. It's got a access right there if you want to run your wires or store something down in there. Easy to get to right there. Of course, more track systems back here. This thing has a ton of track systems in it. That's about it. Kind of the same on the other side. You have another wiring access panel here, and you also have another one up front I haven't showed you. I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's another one in there if you want to run your wires all the way through the boat. And of course, I have my paddle mount right here. And you see I have my navigation lights. I just have them clipped onto my front rod holders there. And these are rechargeable. They're just easier to use, and I don't like drilling holes in my boat, so those seem to be easier to use. Just recharge them. I keep an extra set with me, so it works good for me. That's about it, guys. I do need to mount a handle on the front because I like to winch my trailer up on the boat to make it easier. So I will be adding a few things to this. This is just what I got done so far. Haven't been on the water with it yet. Hope to get it out in a few days. As you can see, we have snow right now, so the ramps are covered, and hopefully by next weekend we'll be able to get this thing out and test it out. And I'm sure we'll tweak a few things after that. So guys, 2025 Nucanoe Unlimited. Thanks for stopping by to check it out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you want to see it in action catching some big catfish. We'll see you in the next one.